Welcome into the Coach Nick Ledbetter Show. Coach, how you doing today?
I'm doing well.
Good. Man, I tell you what, had our first game on Thursday night, faced a good Collinsville football team, and, unfortunately we lost that game 13-0. Talk to us just a little bit about the game,
Well, coming into the game, I knew that they were a team that was going to let jumps out early. If you watch all the films from last year, they had a lot of success in every game they played early in the game and even up till halftime. And we knew that as a coaching staff that we would probably be down at halftime, but we felt like coming to the third quarter we'd eventually take control of the game and have a chance to win in the end. And we just that didn't happen for us. And we didn't fire off the ball very well. We didn't play with low enough pad level. We didn't line up correctly or take the correct steps on certain plays on offense, and same thing on defense. We have a lot of learning to do. That's one of the things that kind of hampered us a little bit coming into a week 0 game, Thursday night game, and our offensive coordinator got there in July, after July 4th. So we're playing catch up and having to teach the kids a lot at the same time, and that kind of reflected a little bit Friday night as far as alignment and all those things. And then losing this guy here, we had a chance to overcome that adversity when things bad happen. Tony's a special player, and it hurt when we lost him, and I think that had a little bit of reflection on the kids a little bit. And but when things happen, and you got to be able to step up, somebody's got to be able to come in and take the load. So.
Absolutely. Talking Tony Rodriguez is a senior running back for Plainview, and actually, when we got the ball, and the first run I think he went about 7-8 yards, and then second run maybe 5 or 6 yards, and then was there a third run before you went down?
That was the one he got hurt on. Yeah.
On the third run, unfortunately he gets hit in the knee, and you have a torn ACL, and man, I hate that for you, Tony. I know you're heartbroken, being a senior and going to be out for the season. So talk to us a little bit. First of all, tell us a little bit about you.
My name's Antonio Rodriguez. I'm a senior. Football's always been my passion since a little kid, and my dreams were to go to college and play. My dream was never to go to the NFL, but to go to college and play. And, I've learned since this injury that, things happen. You just never know. And, God did this to me for a reason, probably so I wouldn't get hurt in different ways, in my future. And, I just got to accept it. That's the only thing I can do.
Yeah, that's a great outlook. And I tell you what, and you hope things like that, when those things happen, it's hard, for kids to understand. And a lot of times, Coach, that will take away, that gets in their mind, I guess. And, and I know that had to affect the way we played the rest of the football game after he was injured, on the third or first series of the game.
Well, it definitely did, and especially being the running back. He's a guy that was going to get a lot of carries in every game we played. But more than that, he was a defensive player, really good, outstanding defensive player for us. And some of the runs that they hurt us on in the second half would have been where he was playing at. And Collinsville did a great job. Collinsville's got a great football team.
Oh, there's no doubt.
They have a really good quarterback. They have a good coaching staff. Coach Ernie Willingham does a really good job. And they have a lot of skill guys. They were a little more physical up front than I thought they would be, and they put it to us.
Yeah.
And sometimes getting your tail whooped cleanses the soul and opens your eyes to help you work on things, and that's the way we're treating it. And we had yesterday's probably the best practice we had this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I watching the game. Of course, I was there, and I thought the defense. They kept us in the football game. We go in at halftime at 6-0, and you feel pretty good about the situation at that point. Of course, I know, when you lose your best running back, of course, it may be a little hard to feel really good about it. But, as you said, people just have to step up there. But I felt good about our situation going into halftime, and, felt like maybe we come out second half and could just you wear them down.
I did too. Being down 6 at halftime with Collinsville after watching all their games from last year, I felt good about it. Yeah. That's kind of where I was hoping it would be at, and what I expected. But I did expect us to take control of the game up front and physically in the second half, and it just didn't happen. But that's an attribute to Collinsville, and how they played and what they did. And this guy here, this is one thing I hate about Tony and his injury. Of course, I hate it for any kid, but specifically for him because, I've coached and been at Plainview, Rainsville person, coached at Plainview, played at Plainview, seen a lot of athletes come through, been at different places, different schools, and coached different athletes. And this guy here is one of the best ones I've ever been around.
Yeah.
And I have some special things for him that a lot of people didn't get to see. And I'm going to help work on him. He gets his injury and gets rehab back. I think there's a place that he can go on and play. We're going to work on that.
That's great. That's great. And Tony, I know you can't be on the field now. Waiting to have surgery on that knee, and hope everything goes well. But I know you're going to be on the sideline, and you're going to do everything you can to get the players excited. So talk to us a little bit. What now that you can't be on the field, what do you feel like will be your job? What can you do to help this football team prepare each week for those games?
Yeah. I think it's very important for me, speak up to the guys and everything else because, this just taught me not to take anything for granted. And, I'd always, talk about how, we're dreading practice, and all this other stuff. But, whenever it comes down to it and I see the other guys practicing, you don't want to, stop playing. Especially if it's, the only thing that you can get your mind off of, school, home, it don't matter. But it's going to be my job. I'm going to make it to be my job to talk to the guys, make sure they're mentally and physically prepared for the game. Every game, every practice, that's me.
Yeah. Well, I know you'll do a great job, and I can tell. Just talk to you. I hadn't never met you before, but I can tell. But just the way you're speaking now, that you're a fine young man, and will do everything you can to help this football team. And I know Coach is proud of you. Even though you're not going to be back on the field, I know he's going to use you in a lot of ways to help as this season goes along.
He had a chance to talk to the guys after practice yesterday, and I think it kind of opened their eyes a little bit when that guy you've been working with and sweating with and crying with and bleeding with pretty much says, guys, it's all those days that you were dreading, all those practices, and when it gets hard and gets tough, you don't want to be standing here.
Yeah.
You don't want to be on these crutches.
Well,
Coach, good.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the first half. Again, you hold Collinsville to 6 points. They get 2 field goals, and defensively, I felt like you were playing real well. Talk a little bit about the first half, how the defense, you were able to stop a couple of drives there, and they only get field goals, which they have a great field goal kicker.
They do. We knew they had a good kicker, but he definitely showed out the other night. They had the drives. If you notice the drives they had the field goal on, they began with really good field position, and one of them was after interception that I think was on the 22-yard, almost right there in that red zone area. And I thought we did a good job holding them out to get field goals on that. Our kids, defensively, we fought hard and played hard all night.
Oh, absolutely.
But we still had a lot of miscues. We still pad level up front and squeezing and getting in really good stances and lining up at linebacker, lining up at safety, and fitting the way we should. We still have a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
But we did get after it, and we did step up when we needed to, and I was really proud of those guys for the way they played.
Yeah. We come back out second half, down 6-0, and of course I know, I felt good, and I felt good. I felt good where we were at. Defensively we were playing well, and we just wasn't able to generate any offense, and but again, the defense kept us in the game in the second half and gave us opportunities.
We had a lot of things offensively. It was just small things. We had just stepping with the correct foot at the right angle and getting my head across the correct guy. We had the plays were there. And you go back and watch film, it makes you so mad. And it's just one thing each time. It's one thing here or one block there. Or we were stop blocking. We thought maybe we didn't play the whistle. Thought the play might have been over, and that guy comes off of us and makes a tackle.
Yeah.
Just small things. I think we had an opportunity to score several touchdowns in that game, and we missed them. We missed some throws, had some open guys, and it's all things we can correct. Everything we did not execute, we have an opportunity to correct it, and that's what we've been working on this week.
Yeah, second half we hold them to 7 points, and to be honest with you, and they score. Actually, we have them. I think it was a third down, and we get called for a pass interference, and
we'd have had 3rd and 11.
it a little bit, in my opinion, it was a little bit questionable. I don't know.
Well,
of course, you can't blame it on the referees, but
we,
again, I didn't see a pass interference.
You always put, anytime a referee has a chance to make a call, it's because of the position we allowed him to be in to make that call.
Right.
But yes, on that film, no, there was.
Yeah.
There was a phantom call.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought, and so I mean, again, looking at the way the defense played, we held them to 13 points, and in most games you feel good if you can hold a team to 13 points. You feel good about your chances of winning that football game.
Even the pass interference touchdown, we still get 6-0. We still don't score or move the ball.
Right.
We didn't do the things we needed to do, but that was a big play in the game. And we were wanting to know who it was on and what happened. We never got that number. We never got any information. And on film, on film we just blow coverage. The ball, just luckily the ball's overthrown, or it would have been 6 points.
Oh, absolutely.
They would have scored.
Yeah.
And if it had been a better thrown ball, it would have been a touchdown anyway. But I don't.
Yeah. Well, Coach, I know moving forward, absolutely. Again, coming in late in the summer like you did, and trying to get prepared for this season, and playing a loaded Collinsville football team, probably one of the best teams Collinsville's had in many years. And so we got to look moving forward now. You put that one behind you and you move on to the next game. Of course, the next game doesn't get a whole lot easier as you have to travel up to North Jackson. But talk a little bit about, I know you watched the film. I'm sure you went straight to the field house after the ball game and started breaking down that film and looking at it and seeing where you mistake. So what's some things, I guess, you're concentrating on this week, trying to get the players better?
Up front on both sides of the ball, our fire off, or what we call our get off. Being low and firing off the ball and being able to attack with the correct step, with violent hands, getting our head in the correct position and driving our feet until the whistle blows. That's what we lacked on both sides up front, was that. And that's what we spent a lot of time on yesterday doing, and the kids responded. We had a really good practice yesterday, but working until the whistle blows at the right pad level, stepping with the right step. I tell the kids every day, especially on offense, one bad step ruins a play. One bad step ruins a play. If I don't step at the right angle to get my head across on the down block and my head don't come across, our plays blown up. They shot. And the other 6 guys up front, or in the F, and plus one sometimes, they could be doing exactly. But if one person steps with the wrong foot, it hurts, or fires off the wrong pad level. So that's some of the things we've been trying to correct, as well as polishing up our passing game and our play action game, and making sure everyone knows the routes, because we had a lot of miscue, had a lot of wrong routes ran.
Yeah.
But a lot of it, we're still in the learning stage.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, new offensive coordinator coming in, in what, July, I guess, and late July at that probably. Yeah. And so, I know you're still in the learning curve there. And talk to us a little bit about, I know, counting a lot on Tony here this season. And now that we know he won't be playing anymore this year, who are you going to be depending on in the backfield there to fill his spot?
Drew Smith and Jesse Davis, both seniors. They both understand what we do on the run game. Those 2 guys will be able to step right in right away at his position, and they understand the game. Number 8, Brody McCurdy, will also be taking more responsibility on in running game, and we have some other guys that we're moving around to hand the ball to and get them the ball in different ways. So we're just trying to be a little more creative to get guys the ball in different ways.
Yeah. Well, I know this week we'll be traveling up to North Jackson. North Jackson, and I'm sure you've watched the film on them, but my understanding it's probably one of the better teams they've had in a while up there. So talk a little bit about this North Jackson team and
North Jackson has a really, really good football team. They're good up front. They're good at linebacker. In the secondary, they have probably one of the better secondaries in all of 4A. And their classification. On the offensive side of the ball, they fire off the ball with a really good pad level, exactly like you want to show your kids to do. They have a linebacker playing quarterback, and they have a really, really talented skilled guy named Lee Witherspoon that's a tailback. He transferred, I believe, from Park out of Birmingham, and he can go. He's a physical kid, and he runs fast and he runs hard. That's probably what's most impressive about him, is how hard he runs. First contact, his feet's just still turning. So we definitely got our hands full with those guys. They also have a really talented receiver. The Summers kid, I believe he's a sophomore. He can fly. He's a guy that can give us trouble. the Woodall twins. I had a chance to coach Travis and Tanner at Scottsboro. They were at Scottsboro when I was at Scottsboro, and then they transferred to North Jackson. Tanner plays quarterback, and Travis plays tight end and linebacker. And then Tanner flips on the other side and plays outside linebacker.
Yeah.
And they're two physical kids, and and they love. You can tell by watching them play, they love the contact part of the game. So we got our hands full with them, but I'm excited about our kids being able to go compete against another good football team and use our report card, if you want to say, from last week and how we graded out and our effort and the things we did, and see how we can change it this week and put ourselves in a position to win the ball game.
Oh, absolutely. And again, I was able back in the summer, and you had a 7-on-7 camp, and North Jackson was there, and I got to see the receiver that you're talking about, and he does have some wheels on him. He can go. I noticed in that 7-on-7 camp, if North Jackson needs to score, they usually just sent him down the field and flinged it to him. So, a great opportunity for Plainview this week. I know, a big challenge. I think North Jackson, are they a 5A? Is
They're
that
4A.
4A. And so, a big challenge for us going in this week. It's a non-region game, and I know I've heard a lot of people say, man, I know Plainview's dreading playing North Jackson this week, and hoping, people saying hopefully they don't get anybody else hurt, whatever. But, to me, I think this is a good opportunity as we get ready for region play next week. It's a good opportunity, and this game can help us moving forward.
Absolutely.
So, what's your thoughts on that, Coach?
No, I agree 100%. Well, there's not a team in our area like North Jackson.
Yeah.
No, there's not. So it's only going to make us better for our area games. But at the same time, if we'll do the things we're supposed to do and execute the plays we're supposed to do and line up and fire off the right pad level, we can make it. We can have fun Friday night.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
We just got to continue to work and get better. And like you said, playing teams like North Jackson only make you better.
That's exactly right. Tony, I know you probably have had opportunity to watch some of the film on North Jackson. Yeah. What's your thoughts on them, and maybe what you'll tell your teammates, especially the running backs who'll be playing? What's some of the advice that you'll give them after watching some of the film on North Jackson?
North Jackson, they're good. I'll give it to them, but we just got to stay competitive. They do everything. They pass the ball, they run the ball. They just got to, read the guards. Just expect the unexpected, pretty much.
Yeah, I think you're right there. I know, again, Coach, it's going to be a big game for us. The one thing you hate to do, you don't want to start off 0-2 if there's any way possible. And again, you hope you don't get anybody injured, because region play starts next week. And the thing, you start looking at the schedule, it don't get any easier as the season goes on. So hopefully we can keep everybody healthy this week and have a good showing. I know the guys. I did ride by yesterday, and I could tell they were working hard. And I tell you what, it's gonna be fun this week at North Jackson, and I think we got a great opportunity ahead of us. And I guess as far as your plans this week, I know you'll probably go full pads again this week, and then today, and then kind of start slacking off tomorrow. So
we're gonna fix what needs to be corrected. If it, no matter what it takes, that's priority number one. And if we're full pads Thursday, we'll be full pads Thursday. As long as we feel like we're progressing in the right direction and executing the way that we think we should, we'll slack off and we'll rest our legs. But if we need to continue working to make us a better football team, to get us into those area games and to give us a better chance on Friday night, that's what we're going to do. Yeah.
Well, one thing I didn't talk about, and I usually like to do this, and I know when there's a loss, a lot of times you don't want to really talk, but I know you had some kids who played hard and played good on Friday night. So talk a little bit about some of the kids who played hard for you on Friday night and what they did.
We give awards for offensive awards, defensive awards, specialty awards. And some of the guys that played well, they got some awards, and I may miss some of them because I don't have it right here in front of me. But I know up front, Matthew Gomez got the offensive line award. I believe Coach Clements calls that the Gogi Award.
Yeah.
On the defensive side up front, Ashley Spigner had a really good game on both sides of the ball. He played well on both sides of the ball, and did it for 4 quarters. And he got several awards for 4 quarters effort. He got an award for that. He got an award for the lockdown up front on the defensive side of the football. He also got a Junior Skaggs Award for the most dedicated and team player for this week. So he had a good night. Drew Smith was one of those guys that responded after halftime. Yeah. He didn't play so well or line up exactly right in the first half, and he changed. And Drew's a good player anyway. He came and spoke here last week, but he really responded after halftime, and he was all over the place second half. I think he ended up with 15 tackles.
Oh, wow.
I think we had 2 safeties that ended up with 5 or more tackles that got awards. I think we had 2 linemen, defensive linemen, that ended up with 5 or more tackles that also got awards. I know I might have had another linebacker that was there too. Marcos Vega or Matt Brown, one of those guys right there. At linebacker, you got to have 8 or more. D-line's got to have 5 or more, and safeties, DB's got to have 5 or more to get certain awards. And I know Zeb Ferguson, he made above the tackles on his, and as well as Hayden Bell. And I felt like that effort showed through on the stats.
Yeah.
We did have a lot of missed tackles, and a lot of them was to the side that this guy here would have been playing on.
Right.
And a lot of them was on 12. We got a little tired in the second half, and we started lunging and diving at him, and instead of putting a hat and a pad on and running through the guy. And that hurt. That was one of the things that hurt us on defense.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about, and this is another subject I know a lot of times you don't want to talk about, and of course I know Tony was one of the players that was injured and lost. But what about it? What about as far as other injuries? How are we?
Ryan Rosser's another guy that's out and may be done for the season. There's a chance we can get him back. He's a senior offensive lineman. Hayden Casey's another senior lineman that's been hurt. We expect to get him back sometime mid-season, but we don't know at the exact point when we're going to get him back. We had a shoulder yesterday with one of our junior tight ends, Dylan Lasser, on a drill. He hurt his shoulder, so we don't know if that's how serious that is just yet. And we have some other injuries with some younger kids, with some ankles and feet. And we look at practice, and there's a line over there. It's probably how many, and Christian Choice is another guy's got a little patella issue. He'll be fine. He'll be back. Should be full speed next week. Yeah. I don't think we'll have him this week. Number one, he's a good player for us, so we'll have him. He had the interception last night, or last Thursday night, had the interception. So he's a really good DB, and he's one of those guys that kind of take the top off for us if we need to fire a shot down deep. And he was one of the guys on one of our passes. He was wide open for 6 points, and we missed him. So that's another guy that's injured right now.
Well, and the other way that I look at, those injuries, and of course I know you as a coach look at that, that is an opportunity for some of your younger players or some of the other players to step up and time to step up and step out.
There's somebody on every team that's waiting. Yeah. For us, they're waiting with that blue helmet on, and they got that burning desire to be that guy. So there's somebody ready to go.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, I know we'll be traveling up to North Jackson, and this is the first year I can remember in a long time when our first 3 games are on the road, and we don't have a home game till the 4th game of the season. So, I know it's tough on our fans, and it's tough on the players because, man, there ain't nothing like playing at home, especially playing at Plainview High School.
Right.
But that's coming, and we just have to tough through all that at this point. But I tell you what, a great opportunity for us this week to improve, to get better in every position, I think. And, I look forward to this game this week, and, and hopefully we bring home a victory on Friday night, Coach.
That sounds good to me. I'm for it.
Oh, absolutely. Well, guys, we appreciate you tuning in, and we'll be back here again next week for the Coach Nick Ledbetter Show. And I tell you what, I hope everybody gets excited about Plainview, travels up to North Jackson. I tell you what, it makes it a whole lot easier. I can remember when I played, it's a whole lot easier when you've got a big group of fans there cheering you on during the football game. So everybody, make an effort to show up at North Jackson on Friday night, and let's cheer this Plainview team to a victory.
At First Southern State Bank in Rainsville, we excel within the walls of our bank and outside these walls too. We're actively working with area schools to improve classrooms and supporting area student athletes on fields and courts. We work and worship at most churches in the Rainsville community. We also work to enhance the lives of area seniors, thanking them for a lifetime of contributions. We're the bankers and corporate citizens at First Southern State Bank. True community banking.
Listen to some of Johnson's satisfied customers.
Everything exceeded our expectations. No one will ever work here other than Johnson. We give them an A+. The crew was awesome.
This is the third company that installed a unit in my house and the first that did it right.
Don't you want to know what type of person is working at your home? All of our employees must pass a background check and are subject to random drug testing. We won't send anyone to your home that we wouldn't trust in ours.
Call Johnson Heating and Cooling today, Alabama's largest and most awarded TVA dealer.
Hello folks, this is Andy White down here at Bobby Ledbetter's Twin City in Fort Payne, Alabama. I want to invite everybody to come out to our new location. We're at 1411 Glen Boulevard, right where you turn to go on Airport Road. We've got plenty of inventory for you to choose from. I got cars, trucks, vans, sport utility vehicles of any make and model. Come down here and visit us. Let us see what we can do for you. If you got some slow credit, I've got some banks that'll take care of that. We've got great financing, got a great selection of cars. Y'all come down here and see us.
Don't take the first deal that comes along when you can do better at BobbyLedbetter.com and Twin City Used Car Sales, located at 1411 Glen Boulevard in South Fort Payne.
How do you show love? With the big things? The little things? The tough things? Your everything. Show them you care. Alpha Insurance.